Law enforcement desperately searching for mom of two, 32-year-old Venus Stewart. Venus disappears heading down the driveway to drop a letter in the mailbox, wearing just slippers and pajamas. Cops say there are signs of a struggle, but what happened? Police say it appears Venus just fell off the face of the earth. Venus and estranged husband Douglas Stewart both accuse the other of abuse. In fact, Venus just winning temporary custody of her 3- and 5-year-old daughters 1 week before she vanishes. Cops now asking the public for help, tracking down a silver Mercury sedan or silver Dodge Ram pickup truck, both belonging to estranged husband Douglas Stewart.
Michigan State Police investigators say her husband, Doug Stewart, is considered a person of interest, but so far maintains he was in Virginia at the time of her disappearance.
To Ellie Jostad, our chief editorial producer. Ellie and Rosie, if you've got a map, throw up the map. I want to see the distance. Where is he a husband or an ex-husband or soon-to-be ex-husband?
Well, they are still married right now, Nancy. They were estranged, however.
Okay. Tell me, you know, when we were coming into this segment, I hear about both of them filing protective orders against each other.
Right.
But wasn't his complaint that she threw a shampoo bottle at him?
Well, right. That was one of the complaints. He said, actually, on 3 occasions, she went to a judge, asked for a restraining order, or rather a protective order against him. On 1 occasion, he asked for one against her. And he claimed that, yes, she had thrown objects at him in anger, is what he said.
And the objects were, unless it's a machete, why call police?
Right, Nancy. Well,
it was a shampoo bottle, Ellie. Are you really saying that with a straight face? I'm supposed to think she's violent because she threw a shampoo bottle at him?
Well, that is the allegation that he made. He also
Stop.
said
You're hurting my teeth. He also said what? What did he say?
He said that all of the allegations that she made, for example, that there were threatening phone calls, harassing, threats to take the children, he claims that he never made those threats. She was the one that did it. He says that it was reversed.
Okay.
She was the one who did these things, not him.
Okay. One thing, Ellie, why is she living with her parents?
Right. Well, in February of this year, and this is in her petition to get custody of her children that she just filed, she said that she had recently found out that her husband had allegedly assaulted one of their children, or that there had been some sort of abuse between the two of them.
Are you talking about sex molestation or beating or starving? What?
It was,
what
yes,
abuse?
it was sexual conduct between the father and the daughter.
And he denies it, right?
Of course he does. He denies it. He says it's a disgusting allegation. But based on this, she was able, and I should point out, too, that the CPS investigation is ongoing. It is an open investigation right now. But the mother was awarded temporary custody of her 2 children just a week before she disappeared.
Now, that still doesn't explain to me why she's living at home. Why didn't she go move into her own apartment or home on her own?
Well, that I don't know, Nancy. She apparently packed up her children, moved back to Michigan, which is where the family had lived. They just moved to Virginia last summer for her husband's job. She has family in Michigan, moved back and moved in with her parents.
Joining me right now, special guests, Venus Stewart's parents, Larry and Therese McComb. Thank you so much for being with us. First to you, Therese, Miss McComb, what happened that morning?
It hurt. She got up from bed. She had coffee with me. It's one of the girls who's up early. Gets up early too. And I'm getting ready for work, and we're just having coffee together, and everything, you know. She kisses me goodbye, get ready for work, and I kiss
Okay,
her
hold
goodbye.
on. Therese, I'm having a hard time understanding you. Larry, pick it up. What happened that morning? I heard Miss McComb say you had coffee together. What else happened?
My wife went to work.
Okay.
I was still in bed, sleeping, and I heard the kids getting really loud, and I thought, why is Venus letting those kids be so loud when she knows I'm in here sleeping? And I got up to chew her out, and she was gone.
What did the kids tell you?
They told me that Mommy went outside. So I went outside, and she wasn't there. I went to the neighbor's house across the street and asked them if they'd seen my daughter. She said no, she hadn't seen her, I came back in the house and I called 911 because I knew what happened.
When you say you knew what happened, what do you mean by that?
She was scared to death of her husband. She told me that he was going to get her, and I kept telling her, no, honey, he's just going to move on to his next victim. I was trying to reassure her. She was so certain he was going to get her, she took out a will 3 weeks ago.
Mr. McComb, you have a propane tank, a container in your front yard, right?
Yeah.
What did you find on the propane tank?
After the police dusted it for prints,
Yeah.
she had hard-soled slippers on, and there were prints from her slippers on the side of the propane tank. Like somebody had picked her up and she was kicking against the tank to get away.
Where were the girls when this happened?
They were in the front room of my house, and I was sleeping in my bedroom.
Is there any way they could have seen what happened?
No.
Not the way our house said. We have no windows on that side of our house. All of our windows face on towards the river. And they're in the front room where the river side. She told me earlier she was going to go mail a letter. She had to mail a letter. But she should have told her father when she went.
Hi, I'm Mike from Safe Light.